What's up, you guys? Welcome to a new Morning Oats. Before this video starts, I want to let you guys know that there is a new episode on the Quest Nutrition channel, and this is 100% like my favorite episode that I ever recorded with them. It's really cool. So this is the show transformation that I do, and this week it features Patrick Blake, who his story is absolutely just incredible, and it's really inspiring. So if you guys don't know about him, I just kind of want to tell you guys a little bit about him before you see this trailer, because his story is just so awesome. So he is training to become the world's fastest man, but the thing is that he doesn't have any legs, so he runs with these things called like blades, I believe is what they're called. But it's just, he is such a nice guy, and he doesn't use that as like the fact not having legs is like an excuse not to try really hard at his goals and stuff. So it was really cool talking to him and being able to film that episode with him. So go ahead and check out this trailer, and then we'll start this video. So what advice would you give to someone trying to transform their mindset and conquer the impossible?
Yeah, for when it comes to a mindset, you really got to accept who you are. As a person, the good, bad, and the ugly. That's the first step. So once you pinpoint the issue, that's it. That's the issue. Figure out the solution. Go get it. You wake up each and every day, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you say no excuses. I'm going to conquer this. I'm going to overcome this by any means necessary. And you have to have that mindset, because you're going to go through some struggles. You're going to get beat up. That's what the grind is about. Taking hits, falling down, and keep battling back each and every time.
Absolutely. So like I said, it's an awesome story, and you know, if you have time, seriously watch that video, because I know talking to him changed me and made me really look at myself. So getting into today's video, we are doing a Morning Oats. I don't have any oatmeal, I apologize. If you're newer to the channel and you've never watched a Morning Oats, basically these videos are me just kind of sitting, talking to the camera, talking about a topic, and you know, just kind of riffing on it. Nothing scripted. It's just very flowy. If you want to listen to it when you're doing cardio or kind of like a podcast kind of thing, that's kind of like what these videos are. I used to do them a lot. I don't do them as much, but I still want to keep them on the channel, because you know, I do like talking to the camera. I do like kind of, you know, sharing my feelings and stuff like that. So I thought that a good topic, especially with Patrick's, you know, his video playing before this video started, I thought it would be a really appropriate topic to talk about is motivation. And motivation is probably, you know, people ask me that question: how do you stay motivated? What's your motivation? Who motivates you? I get that question probably I definitely get it every single day. So I kind of wanted to talk about that. And personally for me, again, this is just my thoughts. When I think about motivation, I think about two kinds of motivation. There's intrinsic motivation, so motivation that comes from within, that's come from within yourself. You don't need anything else telling you what to do. And then there's extrinsic motivation, or you can think of it internal and external, right? So extrinsic, I'm not even sure, is extrinsic even a word? Maybe it's not. Well, external motivation, if extrinsic isn't a word. But basically, motivation, like things that inspire you from outside, like, you know, Patrick and, you know, that video and stuff like that. So like things that might inspire you that come from outside. Now, for me personally, I've told this story a couple times, but, you know, I had that external motivation. Like, there was something that sparked, you know, there's something that brought me to want to lose weight. And, you know, that thing was watching Miami Inc. I've told this story a bunch of times. You know, watching a show, basically a guy lost a lot of weight. They asked him how he did it, and for some reason, his answer, I really honestly don't even really remember what it was, but his answer and the way that the whole episode kind of played out was, it really motivated me, right? So it was external, it was outside of myself. It was motivation that was kind of given to me, right? And I think that stuff is really important, and I think that stuff is really helpful, but at the same time, I think that stuff that motivates you from the outside is very short-lived. It can be very highly intense, and it can really get you to do something, maybe something even really drastic very quickly, but I think that it only lasts for, you know, a very short amount of time. Again, this is just my opinion, and that's kind of what that was for me. You know, it motivated me to, you know, try something new, to try and lose weight. And it worked, definitely, 100% it worked, right? But the fact is like, if that is all you're holding on to, if all you're holding on to is someone, even if it's me or someone else that's making videos or someone else that's making posts or, you know, something you've seen, if that's all you're holding on to motivate you to lose weight, to do anything though, like, you know, Patrick, running races, not marathons, running races without legs and all of this stuff, if that's all he's holding on to, I can almost guarantee that he wouldn't continue doing it, right? But I don't want to talk for him, I want to talk for me. You know, I know that if I was only ever holding on to something on the outside to motivate me to go for my goals, it wouldn't last that long. And I think that's the struggle that a lot of people deal with, is that they get motivated, they have this, you know, maybe you can call it maybe like inspiration, they have this inspiration that inspires them to, you know, to change or to do something great, but they don't, it never kind of manifests inside of you to have that internal motivation to really try and keep going at it, because I feel like that internal motivation is the thing that's really hard to capture, and it's really hard to really like make a video on it and say like, this is how you get it, because it's one of those things that it just kind of it just kind of enters you, and then it becomes like who you are. The reason I say that is because for me personally, I'm not sure how many of you guys are like this, but when I get into something and I really start enjoying something and I really start like thinking like, wow, I really like doing this, it just burns like a fire in my soul, and it literally like makes me, it takes over everything about me. Like I literally just become this person that is obsessed with these things. The reason I say that is because when I started playing drums, I'm not sure how many, a lot of you guys know, how many of you guys know that I play drums, but when I started playing drums, it literally just like took over me, and it was every day I wanted to play drums. It wasn't even like I had to force myself ever. It was like I wanted to be on the drum set all the time, no matter what. Like there was nothing that I never had to get, like watch things to make me want to, you know, play the drums. I never had to, you know, do things other than, like I never had to find that extrinsic motivation to play the drums. And that's kind of how it was for when I started losing weight. Now the thing is that it's kind of hard, because for me it literally can turn unhealthy to where it's like I become obsessed with things. So like that's how it was. Like with the drums it wasn't too bad, you know, I just played drums a lot, and I wasn't hanging out with my friends too much, so that wasn't that big of a deal. But when it came to like losing weight, it became literally such a big deal to me that, you know, my worth and who I was as a person and everything was tied to a scale and tied to how I was doing in my weight loss journey. So I would like not go out and eat, I would not go out with friends, I would not like hang out with other people, because I was so focused on that, you know, my weight loss journey. And you know, that's a whole nother video, you know, dealing with that, but like that's just how I've always kind of been. And it was the same thing, you know, with the bodybuilding show. It was very much like I was very focused on doing that. So it's one of those things that's kind of hard, and I really wish that I could tell you guys, you know, this is what you need to do to find motivation to continue, you know, losing weight, or to continue whatever it is that you want to do. But I really think that it's important, and I think for myself, I've always kind of been able to see, okay, is this something that am I motivating myself with this, or is this something that I'm watching that's motivating me? And I've realized that, you know, they're both important though, and that's the thing that I don't want to get like misconstrued, is that I think that, you know, external motivation, things that motivate you from outside, are incredibly important, because it can spark that change that, you know, you might need to start changing, and then you realize, oh wow, I like doing this, and then that internal motivation just starts going, and then that's the thing that, like, it's almost like, I don't even know how to explain it, like the outside motivation is like a huge bomb, and it's like crazy, and it's very sudden, and it's very like bam, you know, it's right there, and it's like it motivates you to do something drastic. But then that motivation inside is like an engine, you know what I mean? It builds up, and then it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going, and it might not spike super crazy, but it just goes, and it just becomes who you are. And I guess that's kind of the easiest way to explain it, you know? It's something that it just becomes who you are, and that's kind of how I've been, you know. It just becomes who I am. It's the thing that I like to do. Like with YouTube, you know, I got really excited to make videos. So I started, and then I saw the value in it, and I saw like how many people I was helping, and then it's just something that I like to do now. It's just I enjoy making videos, so it's not even difficult for me, you know. So that's kind of, I guess, my answer on motivation. I wish, like, the thing that sucks is like when people ask me that question, like I really wish that there was something I could do to like give them, you know, but like I don't think that that's realistic. I really don't. I think that, you know, you have to find something within yourself that will start that intrinsic motivation, that'll start that motivation from within you, that you don't always have to look at outside sources. But again, you know, sometimes an outside source will spark that huge change that you need to build up that, you know, that internal motivation that will continue to work for you, and will continue to, just like you wake up and it's not even an issue. You know, you wake up, you go to the gym, it's just what you do. And once that starts happening, then I really don't think that there's a way, like you're not gonna fail. And yeah, that's just kind of, I guess, my 2 cents on the topic. Yeah, so it was yeah, I liked this video. I liked filming this with you guys. It was, like I said, it's very early in the morning still, so you could probably tell because I look tired. But yeah, I just wanted to film this because, I don't know, it just kind of, I saw that the trailer for Patrick's video, and it really did, it inspired me and it motivated me, I guess you could say. And I felt like it was a really perfect, you know, segue into this topic. So yeah, and you know, with these videos, I always hope that you guys, you know, leave a comment down below, and you know, maybe just, what are your 2 cents on the topic? You know, do you agree with, like, the whole, you know, if extrinsic isn't a word, and I've said it a million times in this video, I'm gonna feel like the biggest idiot of all time. But let's use external, because I know that's a word. So what do you guys think about, like, the whole external and internal motivation thing? Like, do you agree with that, or would you say, like, I almost think, like, external motivation is, I think of that as, like, inspiration, and then there's motivation, which is from within. So, like, what do you guys think? Do you think, like, external motivation is correct, or would you just call that inspiration, and then would you call motivation the thing that's, like, inside of you? But yeah, I'm rambling now. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys do comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking. Please like the video. It really, really means a lot to me. It helps the channel out a ton. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look above my